Okay, welcome back in. I'm now going to be reviewing Sunday's action from the NHL playoffs. Starting with the Colorado Avalanche, they're playing host to the Winnipeg Jets in game number 4 of their series. Heading into this matchup, the Avalanche had a 2-1 series lead. Would they be able to take a 3-1 series lead heading back to Winnipeg, or will the Jets be able to tie the series up heading home? In the first period, Terry Lehkonen would kick things off, getting his 4th goal of the playoffs, assisted by Middlestad, 8 minutes and 10 seconds of the first period, giving the Avalanche a 1-0 lead. Nate Schmidt would tie the game up, getting his first goal of the playoffs from Appleton and Logan Stanley, with 6 minutes and 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Heading into the second period, we're all tied up at 1. In the second frame, Nichushkin would give the Avalanche a 2-1 lead, a power play goal with 8 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. For Nichushkin, that'll be his 4th goal of the playoffs from Makar and McKinnon. Speaking of Makar, he'd get on the goal scorer sheet himself, getting his 2nd goal of the playoffs unassisted, with 4 minutes and 57 seconds remaining on the clock. Late in the second period, Nichushkin would increase the lead to 4-1, getting his 2nd goal of the game, his 5th of the playoffs, from Lehkonen and McKinnon, a power play goal to note. So heading into the third period, the Avalanche had a 4-1 lead. In the third, Nichushkin would complete the hat trick, getting his 3rd goal of the game, 6th of the series, assisted by Rantanen with 13 seconds remaining, an empty net goal as well. So the Avalanche would roll over the Jets. 5-1 would be the final score. So they have now taken a 3-1 series lead heading back to Winnipeg. It's hard to believe that it's come to this. I thought that Winnipeg would have put up more of a fight, especially after they won game 1. But it's almost like history is repeating itself, as the last year they won game 1, lost 4 straight. In 2018 against the Golden Knights, they won game 1, lost 4 straight. Is history going to be repeating itself, or will the Jets finally be able to push a series to 6 or 7 games? Again, only one way to find out. Okay, so the next matchup took place in Nashville, where they played host to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, heading into this matchup, the Canucks had a 2-1 series lead after DeSmith played out of his mind in game number 3. So, again, will the Canucks be able to build that momentum and take a 3-1 series lead, or will the Predators be able to tie the series back at 2, heading to Vancouver for game number 5? So in the first period, Brock Besser would kick things off, getting his 2nd goal of the series, assisted by Miller and Susi, 2 minutes and 55 seconds of the first. Jankowski would tie the game up, getting his 1st goal of the playoffs from Lausen and Carrier, 5 minutes and 34 seconds of the first period. In the second frame, Gustav Nyquist would give the Predators their first lead of the game, his 1st of the playoffs, assisted by Ryan O'Reilly, 5 minutes and 21 seconds of the second period. So heading into the third, Nashville had a 2-1 lead. Philip Forsberg would strike just 12 seconds into the third, getting his 2nd goal of the playoffs from Yossi and McDonough. So the Predators at that point had a 3-1 lead. Brock Besser would cut the deficit to 3-2, getting his 3rd goal of the playoffs, his 2nd goal of the game from Lindholm and JT Miller, 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining on the clock. And then with just 8 seconds remaining, Besser would complete the hat trick, getting his 4th goal of the playoffs from Miller and Pettersson. So heading into overtime, obviously we were all tied up at 3. Just a minute and 2 seconds into overtime, Elias Lindholm would complete the comeback for the Canucks, getting his 2nd goal of the playoffs from Garland and Dakota Joshua. So the Canucks, despite the fact that they were down 3-1 in the third, were able to come back and win this 4-3 in overtime. So with that, they have taken a 3-1 series lead heading back to Vancouver. Will they be able to shut down the Predators and move on to the second round? Or will Nashville put up a fight, forcing a game 6 back in Tennessee? Again, only one way to find out. Okay, so the next matchup took place in the east side of things, where we had the Washington Capitals, and they were hoping to keep their season alive, taking on the New York Rangers. So heading into this matchup, the Rangers had won the first 3 games of the series, had a 3-0 series lead. Would they be able to hold off the Capitals, or will the Capitals be able to put up a fight, forcing a game 5 back in New York? So in the first period, Kakko would kick things off for the Rangers, just 57 seconds of the first, unassisted, his 1st goal of the playoffs. For Harvey would tie the game up, getting his 2nd goal of the playoffs from Protas and Strome, with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Vincent Trocheck would add a late power play goal, getting his third goal of the playoffs from Zibanejad and Panarin. And that goal happened with just 16 seconds to go on the clock. So the Rangers had a 2-1 lead heading into the second period. Lapierre would get his first playoff goal, assisted by Alexiev, 7 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period, tying the game up at 2 heading into the third. Artemi Panarin would give the Rangers a 3-2 lead, 3 minutes and 21 seconds in the third period, his second goal of the playoffs from Zibanejad and Adam Fox. Roslovic would add a late goal, getting his second goal of the playoffs from Lafreniere and Trouba, with 51 seconds remaining, giving the Rangers a 4-2 lead. It was an empty net goal at that point. The Capitals were trying anything they could to tie it, but unfortunately they were not able to do so. So the Rangers would get the first sweep of the playoffs. They're now heading into round number 2. A very disappointing loss for the Capitals, as I'm sure they had some hope to potentially put up a fight, but evidently they were no match against the President's Trophy winners. Alrighty, the last matchup from Sunday, I do believe, took place between the Oilers and the Kings. So heading into game number 4, the Oilers had a 2-1 series lead. Would they be able to make it a 3-1 series lead, or would the Kings be able to tie the series up at 2 heading back to Edmonton? So despite the fact that there was a lot of goals in game number 3, there was just one goal to report in game number 2, a very defensive struggle, to say the least. So in the second period, Evan Bouchard would get his first goal of the playoffs from Draisaitl and McDavid, a power play goal, with 8 minutes and 11 seconds to go on the clock. And that's the final. 1-0 would be the final score. Stuart Skinner would get his first playoff shutout for the Oilers. The guy was outstanding. And heading into game number 5, I believe the Oilers could bring that momentum back. But again, the Kings did steal a game in game number 2 in Edmonton, so don't count the Kings out just yet. Alrighty, that takes care of my recap from Sunday's action of the NHL. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, take care.